This is a small thing, but it also gets at what we talk about in terms of how they're emasculating football. Brian Branch got kicked out of the game yesterday. Play the clip of this hit. I think we have the he got unnecessary roughness, tossed out of the game for this. He's number 32 there. Yes, he comes in unnecessarily, leads with his helmet. You want to throw a flag for that? I don't have a problem with it. Because, and again, it wasn't a huge hit. But throw a flag. He led with his helmet. It's unnecessary. I get it. Tossing him out of the game might be a bridge too far. However, and there's a lot of outrage about this and a lot of people upset. However, I'm going to add that I understand why they're going over the top. They want to hammer home the message. Don't lead with your helmet. Don't hit anyone unnecessarily. Your thoughts on Brian Branch getting tossed here?
You know, maybe I've been so conditioned for it. When I was watching that portion of the game on Red Zone, when I saw that, I immediately knew it would be a penalty. And by today's standards, it is a penalty. Now, 35 years ago, that would be one of the leadoff clips in NFL Crunch Course. It really would be. It'd be something that'd be glorified. It would not be vilified. And they'd be marketing this thing. Or 20 years ago, it'd be like, you got jacked up. Those days are over. Yeah, now, what I thought was interesting, so I didn't have the volume on because I was doing something else. I was wondering why they were delaying the game. I didn't know what happened. And then when I saw Brian Branch getting escorted, I said, did they just kick him out? And again, by today's standards, that is absolutely a penalty. You can even argue it's a bit of a cheap shot, to be honest. But they've done this before. Derwin James of the San Diego Chargers, they're all pro safety. He's had similar issues. The Broncos had a defensive back that had issues where he was getting thrown out of games and being suspended. The game has changed. It is about the optics. But you could also argue you are asking people in a vicious, violent game to make split-second decisions on the run. I mean, Jason, we're looking at an instant replay. If you lived your life in instant replay, we'd never make a bad decision either. Let's be fair to Brian Branch.
Brian Branch's hit is unnecessary, and he certainly shouldn't be leading with the head. The ball is past him. I get it, but it's another one of these moments that was talked about yesterday. A lot of people, it's like they've really changed football. And it's not so much that I want to see that, but the punishment seems a tiny bit over the top. Penalty, 15 yards, I get it. Kicked out, that may be a bridge too far.
Well, and he's the receiver is entangled with another defensive player. For this defensive 2024 defensive back coming in to make a hit is somehow supposed to estimate where that player's head's going to be while he's entangled with another defender. To me, is impossible. I think it's a ridiculous approach that they're taking. I mentioned last week, I think it's about future lawsuits that they're trying to mitigate. Yeah. This isn't about player safety. It's impossible. Well, the one question I would have, and I see this every week, and we don't have to discuss it too much now, but watch every NFL game when an offensive running back is coming through the lane and he's about to engage a defender. Where does his head go?
Down.
Why is this, if we're about safety and leading with the helmet, anytime there's an offensive player about to engage with a defensive player, head goes down. I can't stand watching it. I get it. I don't like it. I don't think he should be ejected. This is just, it's taking the game to a whole different level, and they're trying to act like it's about safety, and it's not.
Yeah, Butter.
I do think, Steve, the running back dipping his head is there. You can call a penalty on that. It's just never called, I think.
It's never called. And again, this is about a defenseless player. Once a guy has a ball and he's making a move, and there's certain areas where there really is no targeting, like inside the tackle box. They have specific rules on when it is and when it isn't. But to Butter's point about player safety, if they really cared about player safety, they wouldn't be adding games onto the National Football League schedule. They wouldn't make players play 3 games in 13 days, as they're going to start to do. Warren Sharp, I read his preview piece. One of the big betting points now moving forward with these holidays coming up, some of these teams will be playing 3 games in less than 15 days. They wouldn't have so many short weeks. If you really cared about player safety, you'd make it a rule that you either had to come off of a bye or have a bye when you play a Thursday night game, but they don't care. They really don't. And that specific play, that was a 2nd and 20. So on an incomplete pass, you would think it's 3rd and 20. So Brian Branch made a really dumb play. But again, you're asking players to make split-second decisions on the fly. The other thing is when you talk about the punitive nature of this penalty in college football, if you get a targeting penalty and it is reviewed and then it is confirmed, not only do you get thrown out of the remainder of that game, if it's in the second half, I believe, you have to sit out the first half of the next game. So, yeah, this thing is really going overboard here.
Steve, I hear you say, you said this a second ago, and I think we've become conditioned to lower our bar of expectations of what sport we're watching. When you say defenseless player on an NFL field, at what point do you step onto an NFL field that you would be deemed defenseless? You know what you're getting into. You know what the play is. I don't think that there should be a defenseless player on an NFL field based on the actual sport that we're playing. Yeah, that's my position.
I completely agree with you, but I'm just going with the reality of today. I remember the infamous play with Warren Sapp and Chad Clifton. Remember that one, Warren? It was an interception. Bucks run it back. Clifton's running down like there's no one going to hit him, and all of a sudden, Warren slap, bang! You know what? Nowadays, you did that, you'd probably get suspended. That's the reality.
This whole thing reminds me of a song I wrote. It's a damn shame what the NFL has turned to.
Yeah.
For fans like me and fans like you.
I've been selling my stuff, hustling eBay, PlayStation car parts for little or no pay, so I can sit out here and watch the Titans play. Stumble on home and rub my blue balls away. It's a damn shame what the NFL has turned to for fans like me and fans like you. Wish I could just wake up and Patriots red, white, and blue, but I can't. This football nightmare's true. Living in a Madden world with Lombardi soul. These cowards bound to feminists, Lord knows they all just want to wear pantyhose and control what you think. Want to vex you and mask you, and they don't think we know that they drink Bud Light too. Cause these players don't hit, might as well have limp wrists. Cause of these cowards bowing down to feminists. I wish sports media would look out for fans and not just Taylor Swift promoting her brand. Lord, we out in the parking lot, tailgating, grilling meat, and the obese just can't wait to eat. Well, God, if you're a referee and blind is a bat, Roger Goodell should grow a pair and give you the axe. We had Derrick Henry, we played ground and pound, but the idiot Titans chased our king out of town. Lord, it's a damn shame what the NFL has turned to for fans like me and fans like you. Wish I could just wake up in Patriots red, white, and blue, but I can't. This football nightmare's true. Living in a Madden world with Lombardi soul. These cowards bound to feminists, Lord knows they all just want to wear pantyhose and control what you think. Want to vex you and mask you, and they don't think we know that they drink Bud Light too. Cause these players don't hit, might as well have limp wrists. Cause with these cowards bowing down to feminists, I've been selling my stuff, hustling eBay, PlayStation car parts for a little